Does your computer often feel unusually slow? You open Windows Explorer and it just keeps spinning. Waiting for a simple folder feels like forever. Then you check Task Manager. Bam! Your hard drive is stuck at 100% usage, glowing red. Sound familiar? Or maybe you're just thinking about upgrading your drive to reinstall Windows and finally get rid of that lag. If that's the case, congrats! You just clicked on the right video. Let's borrow some credibility from Microsoft for a second. Windows 10 requires at least 32 gigabytes of storage. Windows 11 requires at least 64 gigabytes. Sounds simple, right? But here's the catch. Storage size alone doesn't guarantee smooth performance. What really matters is how fast your drive can actually run. Think of Windows like a busy office where tons of tasks are happening at the same time. Windows Update is busy downloading and unpacking files. Windows Defender is quietly scanning for viruses in the background. The indexing service is constantly writing data to keep your search results fast. And of course, you're opening Chrome, Word, maybe a game or two, music on top of that. Now imagine all of them squeezing through the same tiny doorway, your hard drive. If that door is too narrow, traffic jam. The result? Your drive is maxed out at 100%. Your PC starts lagging and sometimes even freezes. Sure, there are ways to tweak Windows and optimize processes, but let's be real. Not everyone wants to mess with that. So, how fast does your drive really need to be? For office work, studying, or general browsing, a SATA SSD around 500 megabytes per second will already feel smooth. If you're into gaming, video editing, or heavy data tasks, go for an NVMe SSD, anywhere from 2,000 up to 7,000 megabytes per second. That's blazing fast. And here's a big one. If you want to take advantage of direct storage in Windows 11, NVMe SSDs are practically a must. Now, let's talk storage capacity. For office, study, and browsing, 250 gigabytes SSD or more is fine. For professional work with heavy apps, 500 gigabytes minimum, 1 terabyte recommended. For gamers, multimedia creators, or anyone who hates running out of space, go with 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. Plenty of room for Windows, plus all your games and apps. Storage options. Pick what fits your needs and budget. Note, make sure your motherboard supports SATA 3, NVMe, or the correct PCIe version, 3.0, 4.0, or 5.0, before buying. Here are some recommended drives. You can pick whichever brand you prefer. If your motherboard supports SATA 3, Samsung 870EVO 500 GB, MZ77E500BW. Type SATA 3. Read speed 560 megabytes per second. Write speed 530 megabytes per second. If your motherboard supports PCIe Gen 3 X4, Samsung 980, NVMe 1 terabyte, MZ-V8V1T0BW. Capacity 1 terabyte read. Speed 3,500 megabytes per second. Write speed 3,000 megabytes per second. If your motherboard supports PCIe Gen 4 X4, Samsung PM9 A1 256 GB, NVMe 2280. Capacity 256 GB. Read speed 6,400 megabytes per second. Write speed 2,700 megabytes per second. Samsung PM9A1 of 512 GB, NVMe 2280. Capacity 512 GB. Read speed 6,900 megabytes per second. Write speed 5,000 megabytes per second. Samsung 990 EVO plus 1 terabyte. NVMe 2280 MZ V9S1 T0BW. Type PCIe Gen 4 X4. NVMe PCIe Gen 5 X2. NVMe capacity 1 terabyte. Read speed 7,150 megabytes per second. Write speed 6,300 megabytes per second. Samsung 990 Pro 1 terabyte PCIe Gen 4 X4. NVMe 2280 MZV9P1T0BW. Capacity 1 terabyte. Read speed up to 7,450 megabytes per second. Write speed up to 6,900 megabytes per second. If your motherboard supports PCIe Gen 5 X4. Samsung 9100 Pro 1 terabyte PCIe Gen 5 X4. NVMe MZVAP1T0BW. Capacity 1 terabyte. Read speed up to 14,700 megabytes per second. Write speed up to 13,300 megabytes per second. Buying tip: always check the seller and the official warranty policy before buying.